Welcome to this episode of our program Daily Debate. As usual, we will be discussing important topics. Tonight, we have two important topics. The first was the inauguration of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to the first conference on the National Alliance for Civil Development Work, or the NACDW. The President here underlined the important role that is played by the Civil Society Association in praising its coordination and sustained work and definitely the fruitful outcome that came out of the work. This National Alliance, it was launched in March last year, or in March 22, under the directives of the President himself, and is considered a civil modern community, or rather a civil modern and pioneering model for providing well-studied institutional community service with the utmost care, transparency and discipline. I guess that the civil society has lots and lots of work to do, as said today by the President, who really praised the work so far and who really has been speaking about the expected role they should be playing at this very particular stage. In our second segment, we'll be speaking also about a very important topic, which is Upper Egypt. Upper Egypt has been seeing unprecedented focus and attention that has been given to all its governorates, the latest of which was the inauguration of the new Sohag city, and definitely achievements were made in various fields and sectors, the industrial, agriculture, social, urban, and that helped the living standard of the and services provided to the citizens. I guess that Upper Egypt has its own attention after it was neglected for years. And the unprecedented development that is taking place is not just taking place in Upper Egypt, but rather across the governorates of Egypt. We'll be speaking about that in our next segment. Before we delve into our discussion, first let's have a quick look on the first report. President Sisi witnesses the opening of the first conference of the National Alliance for Civil Development Work. Let's watch.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi urged Egyptians to trust in the government to address the ongoing economic crisis and refrain from spreading panic, also calling for a greater role of civil society in confronting the effects of the crisis. The President made his remarks on Monday during the opening of the first conference of the National Alliance for Civil Development Work. President el-Sisi urged Egyptians to listen to the government regarding all data and information, especially economically, stressing that spreading panic among people would have bad consequences for the government and the people, weakening their will to stand firm in countering any challenges. He also explained that the current circumstances, including COVID-19 and the Russian-Ukrainian war, affects the whole world, not just Egypt. He added that the government will never abandon Egypt in its difficult circumstances. President el-Sisi also underlined the important role played by the NACDW, praising its coordinated and sustained work and its fruitful outcome. The President called on the NACDW and other civil society organizations to intensify their efforts during 2023 in light of the world's current economic crisis. He noted that the NACDW has announced a package of 14 billion Egyptian pounds for charity work, calling on the Tahya Masr Fund, which targets vulnerable families, to contribute to it, also directing the government to exert more efforts in this regard. The President said that existing donations of £10 billion should be increased, noting that 2022 was declared as the year of civil society and the current year needs even more efforts to overcome the impact of the economic crisis. The head of state asserted that he has been in continuous contact with civil society entities to be briefed on their work and their ideas. President Isisi also addressed a woman, a beneficiary of the NACDW, who runs a farm on her own, calling her a role model for economic empowerment. He thanked all farmers and workers in the agriculture sector and called on farmers not to underestimate the value of one Fedan as a small farmer's capital, emphasizing that in total the farmers can produce a large amount that serves the country, especially in sugarcane and soybeans. The NACDW conference kicked off by screening a documentary on the Alliance's efforts in 2022. The film highlighted the key role played by civil society in realizing development and improving living conditions. The film also included a speech by late Dr. Anisa Hassouna on the importance of civil society. It also highlighted efforts of the Alliance to prioritize supporting the health sector, referring to health and food convoys in various governorates. The film said the Alliance extended monthly pensions for more than 600,000 families over the past year. The National Alliance for Civil Development Work was launched in March last year to ensure effective engagement of civil society institutions in developing communities and meeting their legitimate needs in service, health, education, awareness and urban fields. The Alliance comprises more than 24 associations, civil society organizations and service and developmental entities.